Good morning. Day 260. Cooking down the refrigerator, freezer, and working pantry meals. So today it's going to be a nice 75 degrees, nice and cool. And right now it's sunny. So we'll see how the day progresses. There's no rain in the forecast. But it's going to be a little cooler. And then by the end of the week, I think it's going to warm up just a little bit, maybe to 80. And in my opinion, this has been a wonderful summer. People that like it really hot wouldn't agree with me, but that's okay. At this stage in my life, this has been a really, really lovely summer. Here in northern Ohio by Lake Erie. So today is day 6 of no spend. So I'm still keeping track of that for September. And 6 days until the donation people come back. So I have to gather some more things. I already have a box going of kitchen things, and I also have a bag of clothes for the donation. But I have more things that I have. Today I have 2 tree guys coming and 1 roofing guy coming for estimates, so we'll see. That definitely won't be a low spend. So I'm thinking that maybe today, if I have lasagna noodles, which I probably do, I might try to make a lasagna out of that farmer's cheese, because it's almost the texture of a ricotta cheese. So I think that would work out okay. And I know in my freezer I have some nut cheese that I made a long time ago, and if it's still good, I may mix that with the farmer's cheese, because it was like an herb nut cheese. So I think that might go well in a lasagna, but I don't know if that cheese is good anymore. But definitely the farmer's cheese would be good. So anyway, and I don't know what I'm having for breakfast today. I have still lots of choices. And what have I learned by this exercise in cooking down my refrigerator, freezer, and working pantry? I have learned that I really don't want to stock up on so much freezer food anymore. Long-term pantry, yes. Working pantry, yes. Refrigerator, I will buy fresh produce for that. I will buy some frozen produce. But I think the biggest thing that this has taught me is not to overconsume. To be prepared, yes. But to overconsume is not a good thing. Plus, you're spending a lot of money that really you don't need to spend. As long as you're a little creative with your food and use it all up, I mean, that's the way to go, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you buy too much? Do you have a handle on what you buy? Do you shop every week? Do you have a stash? What do you guys do? I like to learn from you guys. So, okay, I will be back in a little bit and we'll take a look in my refrigerator and freezer and see what's for breakfast. But first, coffee. Let's see what's to eat on day 260. So I still have my rice and veggies and salad. And this is a little tiny bit of rice. I have my meat that I made, my bruschetta and my farmer's cheese. I think I'm going to make a lasagna out of those today. A small one, single person lasagna, because I have the cheese for it and I think that would be good. Alright, so meal ideas and preps are done for today. So I need to look for breakfast. I still have lots of cheese. And I think I want to have like a sausage McMuffin, but not on a muffin, on a bagel. So let's look in the freezer. I still have these. These are Beyond sausages, so I'm going to make one of those. I'll probably cook up two. Save the other two for another meal. And here I have some bagels. I'll get those out in a minute. I also here have some Gardein grillers. I think I'm going to add those to the meat I made just to stretch it out a little more. Even though it's going to be a small lasagna, I think I'm going to stretch the meat out a little more. And then I know here in the door I have this herb nut cheese that I made a long time ago, and I'm going to thaw one of those out. There's two in there, and I'm going to see if it's any good anymore, and if it is, I'm going to add it to the farmer's cheese for the lasagna. So I'm going to get that out too. Freezer's looking pretty good. So I think it's time that I start bringing over some of the food from my mom's freezer that I have over there and put it in my little freezer in the garage. I don't know if it'll all fit, but I'll see, little by little. Oh, and then I need an egg for my egg and cheese and sausage bagel. All right, so I will meet you at the stove. Okay, so here is the cheese I made, and I don't know, I think maybe I could use it up for a lasagna. I don't know. And it doesn't matter that it's not pristine white. I mean, it's made with nuts. So I may give that another whirl in the bullet because it looks pretty chunky, but it doesn't really matter if I don't, because you know, if you're making lasagna, the meat in there is chunky anyway. So I'm going to put this other one in the freezer and cook up my two Beyond sausages. And the other one, or the other two, I'll keep in the freezer for another meal, because I don't want to cook them all up and then I have to eat them all, and I don't want to do that. So, okay, that's that, and morning coffee time. Cheers! So, it takes me half the morning to finish my coffee. I don't chug-a-lug it. So, all right, I'm going to get cooking here, and I'll be back. Okay, here I am poaching an egg. It's a little trick I learned from Rhoda Stone. She likes to do a lot of budget cooking and shopping, so head on over to her channel if you're interested in that. But she took like a little pie tin from a pie, and you put your egg in there and you poach it. So that's what I'm doing, because I've done this before and it works great. Thanks for the great tip, Rhoda. So I have my sausages here. I have my bagels and cheese in the air fryer. So I'm going to put this together and I'll be back. Okay, be real careful when you open this up, because this steam is really hot. Okay, and this looks like it's done. So it's a very nice poached egg. Now I sprayed this a little bit with some coconut oil to keep it from sticking. Hopefully that works. But we'll see here. Yep, it worked just fine. So I have my sausage on here, my cheese on here, and as you can see, that didn't stick. So I saved one of these from a pie that I had. So there it is. Oh, let me put this up so I can see you. All right, there it is. Breakfast day 260. All right, let me give it a taste. This is an onion bagel. I mean, I already know it's going to be good. All right, I'll be back later. Well, hello. All right, it's time for a little chat. And just taking a little rest here. Not that I've had a really productive day today, I haven't, but that's okay. I want to talk a little bit about this whole process that I'm doing here. It started with cooking down my refrigerator, freezer, and pantry, and kind of morphed into other things that have really been a life-changing exercise and transformation for me. When I was younger, I was always searching for something. I didn't know what I was searching for. I think I was searching for myself. You know, I think when you're younger, you try this, you try that, and you just have to find out who it is you really are. Now, some people discover that sooner, some people discover that later, but I don't think we're the same from day to day anyway. You know, I have the philosophy of new day, new me. So, in fact, I was going to make a second YouTube channel called New Day, New Me, because every day that you're alive on this earth is a chance to do something different. You're not stuck in the same groove that you've put yourself in. And a lot of times, in fact, most of the times, you put yourself in these grooves by the choices you make, the people you are with. But you can change anything you want to change. And you don't even have to wait a day. You can do that from moment to moment. And if you have a difficult task ahead of you, you just do it a moment at a time, and you keep going in the direction where you want to head. So what has this process taught me? First of all, it's not just the purging of the freezer food. It's also the purging of my home, the things I have, the things that are too much, and a continuous circle of organizing and purging and giving to other people things that I don't have a use for anymore, and I know that somebody out there will. So that for me is very satisfying. I enjoy doing that. So I used to feel when I was going through the process and it was difficult, I used to feel like, oh my God, I paid money for that, and and what a waste of money, and that goes through your head. But I don't feel that way anymore. Now I feel like, yeah, I had this thing, I bought this thing, and now it's time to pass it on. And I look at it as a charitable donation. And that way I don't feel like I wasted my money. Do I sometimes still feel that way? Of course I do. But the majority of the time I don't feel that way. It makes me happy to fill up a box or a bag that I know somebody else can use. So it's taught me a huge lesson in overconsumption. And I think a lot of us are guilty about that. I mean, if you're a minimalist, you probably aren't. But a lot of it, I would say the average person is probably at least a little bit guilty of overconsumption. And I was certainly guilty of that in the past. So that's led me into more a lifestyle of frugality. There were always things that I was frugal in. When I shopped, I would bargain shop. I didn't go out to the high-end stores and spend tons of money on high-end things. I never did that. But I overconsumed on bargain things that I didn't need. So this whole process has taught me to be more frugal and to use up all the gifts I've been given. And by gifts I mean things I've bought for myself, things other people have given me, gifts of food, the Creator has gifted to me, all sorts of things. So I'm on a path of frugality, and it's not being cheap, it's being mindful of what you consume. And it's more that than, putting a lot of money in the bank or saving all your pennies. That personally to me is not frugality. I mean, it's part of frugality, but that isn't the whole enchilada. Another thing it's teaching me is simplicity, to simplify everything, because I don't want to dust 30 tchotchkes in each room. I don't want to have to clean constantly. There's other things in life that I'd rather do. Maybe read a book, or go for a walk, or go out in my backyard and putter around in my garden. That to me is frugal and simplistic. And those are more of the things that I want to manifest in my life. So, am I a late bloomer? To a point, but a lot of us don't have the opportunity until we're older, and maybe we retire, or we retire and find a job that we love rather than the everyday job that we had to go to pay the bills and, the everyday grind. So sometimes these opportunities don't present themselves until you are older. So another thing that I've learned and is to be grateful. Gratitude for what I do have. Gratitude for what I can gift to other people. Just being grateful for everything. You can even be grateful, and I know this is going to sound weird, but sometimes if not so good things happen to you, sometimes you actually end up being grateful that that thing happened, or you would not have changed, or you wouldn't have done things differently. You would have continued doing what you're doing. So sometimes even that can be something that you can be grateful for. It's taught me self-sufficiency. I know I can rely on myself. Even if I have some days that aren't the best, you know, my arthritis is acting up, my fibromyalgia, or both of them are acting up. I still know that at some point I can be self-sufficient. You know, I can still make my own meals. I can still get around. Not everybody is that fortunate, but, you know, putting one foot in front of the other and taking little steps to get things done, I think is very important. Independence. Again, you know, and self-reliance, relying on yourself. Yes, you're going to have people in your life that you can rely on for the most part, but sometimes even those people you can't rely on. So you should be able to rely on yourself all the time. You know, and like I said, even if you have an issue for the day and you need to rest, and you know, that's okay, that's perfectly okay. But know that tomorrow will be a better day and a brighter day, at least in your mind, and you know, proceed from there, and have a positive attitude towards it instead of a woe is me attitude, because that isn't helpful, and it makes you depressed. And you know, I mean, most of us to some degree can be independent. I mean, there are those people that, you know, they have a mental problem where they can't be self-reliant, or physical problems where they need a lot of help. But do for yourself everything and anything that you can do. Don't give it all away to other people. If there's simple things that you can do, then just do simple things. You know, and if you have to rely on other people to help you out, that's perfectly fine too. But there's always some things that you can do to rely on yourself. I realize how much abundance I actually do have. And I just gave a talk on that a couple days ago. I'm not talking particularly about material things. I'm talking about spiritual things, the gifts that you're given, the outdoors. Even, I don't like the winter, but even though in the winter there are things that that are abundantly given to you. So having, like I said, spiritual things or simple things, nature, anything like that, to me is abundance. And I think most of us have more than what we realize, and as far as that goes. And that, I think all this leads you to a sense of serenity. You know you can rely on yourself. You're grateful for what you can do for yourself and for other people. Serenity to me is knowing that I can take care of myself, that I am secure in the fact that I can take care of myself. If I were the last person on earth, I could, probably survive, depending on what the circumstances were. But I know that somewhere I would know how to get the knowledge to continue to take care of myself. So that gives me a big feeling of confidence. So I'm not afraid. If I know how to take care of myself, I'm not afraid, I'm not fearful. I know what to do to take care of myself, depending on whatever the circumstances that present themselves. And I know I can learn. If I don't know something, I know where to go to learn what it is I need to learn. I don't like, for me personally, I don't like being stagnant and always being in a place of, I don't know what to do. What should I do? It may take me a while to figure it out, but I'll do research, I'll ask other people for advice. Not that I always take it. I mean, some people get upset if they give you advice and you don't take it. But for me, asking for advice from people is a good way to gather information. I may talk to one person and they have a good suggestion, and then I may go to somebody else and they have a different good suggestions. And then you can just put it all together and formulate your own plan from all these things that you've gathered from other people and all the information that you've gathered. And you'll have the confidence to be self-reliant and take care of yourself. So, and the security and the serenity, it all comes in as one package. So to me, I view getting older, yeah, I have aches and pains. I'm not as strong as I used to be. I'm not as quick as I used to be. But I view getting older as a gift. It's a gift from the Creator, and I still have work to do. My life is not just about me. I think we all have a mission. I think we all have a mission in life. And that's one of the things that used to make me feel restless. I don't know what my mission is. What is my mission in life? Why am I here? But I think a big part of everybody's mission in life is to be happy. I mean, every parent wants their children to be happy and to have a good life, to be a good person. And I think that alone is part of the reason why we're here, to be good to each other and to live a good life. And I don't know about other people, but I want to look back on my life and think, yeah, I had a life well lived. I had some fun, I had some sorrow, I loved, people loved me, and that's what's important. So I think as you get older, there's a lot of transformation going on. Just physically, mentally, hopefully you become wiser. And you learn from your mistakes, and you can impart a little bit of wisdom to other people without constantly telling them what to do. That's not what I'm talking about. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. Leave me a comment below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are some of your thoughts about getting older? I mean, even you don't have to be a retirement person getting older. If you're a younger person going through transitions in your life. What are some of your thoughts? And how are you coping with getting through some of the transitions that you're going through? So anyway, I was going to make lasagna today, but I think I'm going to change that and wait until tomorrow, because I do still have a couple meals in the refrigerator. I have my leftovers from yesterday with the rice and veggies. And I still have chopped salad. So I think I'll have that instead and save the lasagna for tomorrow, because I'm sure I'll make enough for 2 meals. And today I actually had somebody show up that was pretty promising about the tree. I'm very self-sufficient and reliant. I will find a tree guy. And the price was decent for the 3 trees. The estimate was $1,100, which was also a very similar estimate that I got yesterday. So tomorrow I still have a couple people coming, a couple of them to look at the roof, and one of them to give me another estimate on the tree. But if this guy tomorrow, I think I'm going to go with the guy that came today. I liked him. He explained to me what they would do, how they would take the trees out, because there's no way you can drive a truck back there behind my house. There's just no way. So I like the way he explained everything, and he was very quick. And so if the guy tomorrow doesn't pan out, then I'll go with this company. All right, I'm going to do a little reading since I'm not going to cook anything. I can just sit and read. So this is what I'm reading. I've shown this before. And this is a really good book. Passport to Survival, 12 Steps to Self-Sufficient Living. So it talks about things you can do for loss of income. It says loss of income or family wage earner, unexpected medical expenses, natural or man-made disasters, interrupted food supplies, water shortages or contamination, power outages, and who knows what else. So it's a very informative book. It's a simple book. Lots of really simple, good recipes in here. Anything from breads to meatless meats and cheeses and sauces and you know, just basics, just the way I like to cook and stock up by using basics. I have saved so much money on food by doing that, and I have healthy food, delicious food. It's not mundane, lots of good nutrition. So I really enjoy living this way. It's fun for me. It's very peaceful and relaxing, and I'll never go back. I'll never go back to the craziness. I'm done. No more. I like my life of serenity. All right, my friends. Well, I'm not going to bother to show you my my meal. I may put a picture in at the end of the video, but I don't want to be too repetitive. So that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.